Hello, this is Adele, and today's sequence is about getting us to integrate at the core area, the core mainly at the trunk area, as well as to free up the shoulders to help this process get easier and more organic in our body. So you can work with two blocks if you have them, otherwise it's not essential. Okay, we start off by just sitting on a block or in a comfortable seat where you just take a few moments sitting tall, closing your eyes, and just feeling your body, feeling how you're being held upright with the nice balance through the core, the fronts, the backs, and the sides of the body. Notice if you can let your shoulders be relaxed, dropping away from the ears, while you hold the weight of the head up comfortably. With this beautiful structure, take an inhale and an exhale, clearing breath out through the mouth. One more time to inhale, a clearing breath out. Then from here on, if you can, go for nasal breathing, just gentle breathing in and out through your nose. Once you've set the breath going on automatically in the background, slide your hands to heart center. Let us begin. Namaste. So come to lie down on your back. We'll start with the ground, where it's supported. You can concentrate on the action. So bend your knees and lie on your back. If you need to, you can put a thin padding below the head, for more support, especially if your chin is jutting upwards. Otherwise, we're good. We can let the arms relax by the side. Then from here, bring your knees to bend on top of your hips, your ankles in line, the knees in like a square shape. You can squeeze a block between the thighs or just let it be free. Take the hands on the thighs area and feel like you're pushing your thighs away from you as your thighs push back into your hands. So you want to find a nice little neutral curve as you just stay here. Staying here for 8, 7. So it's like activation of your thighs towards your hands and your hands press away the thighs. Then you are just stable at the core. 6, 5, 4, 3. Make sure to keep the shoulders a little relaxed. 2, 1. Hands by the side of your body. Heel tap. Tap the right heel to the ground and lift it back to match the left. Left heel and up. Right and up. The key is to stabilize the core. Left and up. Keep breathing. Right and up. Left and up. Going for right, up, left, up. Then from there, stretch the right leg forward. Maybe scoop the toes in and scoop the knees in. Let's go for 4 sets. Going forward with the left leg and then slowly come back to meet. Right leg and left leg. Go with your pace. 2 more sets. Right, left. Last one, right, stabilizing at your core, and left. Then from there, right leg straight forward, left hand, hands hold at the back of left knee and just hover the right leg in front of you. If you like to, bring your shoulders up, look towards the navel and hover. You can also push the right heel up to feel the entire right thigh and right knee straighten. 3, 2, 1. Slowly rest the head down, bend the right knee. Hold at the back of the right knee, left leg stretch out forward. Lift the shoulders and chest for more intensity. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the head down and bring both knees towards the chest. Hands by the side of the thighs. And just gently roll on the back from side to side. You can draw circles with your knees just to massage the back so lightly. And then go in a counterclockwise direction. And slowly come back to center, feet stand on the ground. Stretch your right leg, stretch out forward, heel to the ground, thigh bone heavy. So it's same thing, a neutral spine. Your hands can just be supporting you. Drop your chin towards the chest. Then from there, angle the right foot slightly out and lift the right thigh up. And slowly down. Press the left foot flat. Lift the right leg up and down. a few times, right leg, and down. This helps to work the inner thigh, which helps us to access the deep core, and down. Imagine you are pulling against the resistance band that's strapped to the ground, and then in the lowering down, you're controlling so that your leg doesn't get pulled to the ground very suddenly. Good. And then maybe for last one, hold it here, matching the knees in a line. 3, 2, 1. Drop the leg down, feel the stretch the front of the so as the hip flexes. Bend your right knee, left leg stretch out forward. Keep the pelvis heavy, left foot angled out comfortably, and then left leg lift up. Imagine pulling against resistance and lower down. Good. Lift up, you feel the inner thigh muscle, and down. Maybe a little of the lower leg lifting up and down. You can do till fatigue, but here we are just working for about 8 to 10 reps. Use the inhale to lift. Use the length of the exhale to lower. The inhale to lift. Exhale, drive the heel forward and lower. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. 2 more, lifting. And lower down, press against the outer edge of the right foot for more balance. And lower, last time we're going to stay. Staying for 5. For 4, drive the left heel forward. 3, 2, 1. Turn the toes upwards and stretch the leg. Both legs forward. Press down the thigh bone, press down the heel bone, and stretch the arms overhead. Release and bend your knees. Feet stand on the ground. Now working on the back body, so your feet comfortably. If you feel like your knees are going all around the place, you use a block and take the medium width. Okay, so this medium width, okay, to go between the knees. Okay, so from here you just want to find neutrality in the spine, so you can do a few rounds. Use your fingers to find the frontal hip bones and just let the hip bones point straight up to the sky. So that helps us to get a little curvature on the back, just very much on the lower back, okay, but the top of the pelvis is heavy. Then you just slightly squeeze the block using the same inner thigh muscles that we just got aware of, okay. Hands just press down. Inhale, lift up to bridge pose. Exhale, lower. Feel how stable your feet is. If you like to, you turn the heel a little bit outwards, parallel at the outer edges. Inhale to lift. Don't jam it up. Exhale. Lift up with control. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Those who like top 2, you bring the arms overhead first. Feel how it feels. Then you take the arms down. You are going to match the arms lifting overhead with the butt lift through the inhale and coming down through the exhale. So inhale, arms overhead, butt lift. Exhale, arms come down, butt lower. Inhale, arms lift, butt lift. Exhale, arms down, butt down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Good. Inhale to lift. You do want to fatigue. If you fatigue more easily, you can always rest first. Those who find that the arms do not extend back easily, you can open the arms a little bit wider. And exhale. Good. Inhale. Exhale. We just go for 2 more sets together. Inhale. But once you learn it, this is about strengthening the hamstrings, the butt, and getting that overhead arm lift. Okay, one more time. Stretching out. And exhale, slowly lower down. Good. Then from there, you pull down the sides of the mat and bring the knees on top of the hips. Okay. Then from here, you have your arms out horizontal. Squeeze the block and slowly drop to the knees to the right side as your chest turns to the ceiling. Squeeze the block and come back to center. Exhale, dropping to the left side. Just halfway is good. Squeeze the block and come back to center. Some little obliques work. Exhale, going to the right side. Come back to center as you hug the block. Going to the left side. Come back to center. Over to the right. This time, let the thigh rest down. You can let the block be lower if you like to. And then you try to get the shoulder heavy. So it's a little bit of a stretch of the obliques, the side body. And you can squeeze the block to feel that little toad in the inner belly area. Keep the shoulders down away from ears. Constant reminder there. Okay, now I make the block a little smaller for myself. If you like to, you keep it wide. I squeeze the block and return back up. And slowly I go on to the left. If I feel too lopsided, I feel very insecure in my hips, I can shift my buttocks a little bit more to the right. Squeeze the block, and I can focus on the shoulders, dropping away from ears. Getting a twist, a little side body stretch, as well as oblique work. Relax the shoulders, breathe in. So you don't have to force yourself to look over to the right side. You can always look to the same side or towards the ceiling comfortably for your neck. Squeeze the block and slowly come back to center. Then take the block out to one side. Step your feet down. Take a moment, open your feet wider and knock your knees in. Constructive rest pose. Give a break to your hip flexors, feeling more neutral and supported on the pelvis. Stay here and take 3 breaths just to integrate everything. Inhaling, exhaling. Long inhale, long exhale. One more time, long inhale and long exhale. Roll over to one side, comfortable for you. And take 2 to 3 breaths just to allow yourself to feel more comfortable in your back and your breath. And slowly lift, press down the top hand, come up to sitting position. In fact, we're going to all fours on hands and knees. Bring your fingers to spread. The shoulders are stacked directly over your wrists, okay? And then your arms are going straight. So you feel a little bit like inner rotating at the upper arm. Then from there, okay, you just tuck your toes and sit your buttocks back to where it can. So we are spreading the toes, catching all the toes as we keep the arms straight. You're facing down. You're lightly stretching the back, okay, while you're stretching the soles of the feet. Inhale, come back to hands and knees. Same thing, shoulders on top of the wrist. Get the right arm forward. Then from there, tap the right hand on the left shoulder. Stabilizer is at the shoulder, at the chest area on the left side. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach out. Tuck the toes for more support. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, tap. One more round. Inhale, reach out. Do one more challenge. Shift the shoulders a little bit forward. Looking forward for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Stretch the left leg out. Extend the cat. Find a little balance. Then from there, hand down, knee down, point back the toes. This time you get to sit back to child's pose. Buttocks to heels, arms outstretched, fingers spread. Take one inhale here and one exhale before we go to the second side. Come on to hands and knees. Always check, is the hand width apart comfortable for your shoulders, for your neck? Tuck the toes, you'll feel your core engage, the heels push back. Left arm go forward. Tap the left hand on the right shoulder. Testing the right arm strength and the chest lifting off. Left arm forward. Tap the hand on the shoulder. Reaching out. Exhale, tapping. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, tapping. Grip the fingers, especially the thumb and index finger. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, tap. One more time, reach out. Feel free to challenge yourself by shifting the right shoulder forward a little bit, pressing the ground away from you for 5. For 4, keys to breathe. Your palms can face in or face down as you like. 3, 2, 1. I like to tuck the toes and stretch the right leg back, finding extended cat. Then from there, hands down, knees down, all fours. Point back the toes. Once again, sit back, extended child's pose. Take one gentle inhale and gentle exhale. Slide the hands to the knees, come to hero pose or high kneeling position as you need to. Then from there, take your right arm across the chest and hook your left arm over, pressing the forearms into each other. Stay looking forward or look over to your right side shoulder. Breathe. Turn back forward. Bend the left elbow, right hand hold it, and then feel like you're lifting the ribs slightly away to create that length in the torso. Feel free to side bend lightly towards the right side. Come back to center. Release your arms. Take your left arm across the chest, right forearm, catch onto it. Looking ahead or looking over to the left shoulder. Keep the jaws neck soft, really important. Otherwise, you'll feel your chin wanting to jut forward, and that creates a lot of unnecessary tension in the body. Turn back forward. Bend the, which elbow do you bend? Bend the right elbow and slide the hand between the shoulder blades. Feel free to side bend to the left side. Feel a little stretch opening up the side of the ribs for better breath. Slowly inhale, come back to center, release your arms. So you sit back on the heels if you're not, and then take the arms by the side of the body. Once again, you come in the child's pose, but more rested, feeling the spread across the back. Inhale, stretch both arms out forward. Come back to hands and knees on all fours. From here, this time, shoulders on top of the wrist, inner upper arms a little bit rolled in. You want to stretch the right leg back and press down the heels slightly. So now your shoulders are shifting backwards. I'd like you to feel the stretch on the right lower leg. Good. You can look ahead and practice supporting the weight of your head. You don't need to lift it up, just supporting the weight of your head as you do some arm and shoulder work. Drop the right knee down, tuck the left toes, and drive the heel downwards. Good. Then all you need to do is to stabilize at the shoulder. Then from there, I'd like you to shift the shoulders on top of wrist, keep the left toes tucked under. Then you can close it into the center, the right leg join the left leg into a plank pose. Take a moment, drop the knees, point the toes, and bend the elbows slowly lower down to the ground. Hands beside the ribs, both legs are two straight line. Roll the shoulders away from ears, baby cobra. You can look down to the ground, notice how it feels for the jaws and the neck. Slowly lower the chest down. One more time, toenails catching the ground as fast as you can. Roll the shoulders away, baby cobra. Breathe. Make sure the neck stays soft. The upper back feels a little bit more integrated. Maybe slightly squeeze the elbows, feel between the shoulder blades, and slowly lower down the chest. Then press onto hands and knees to all fours. This time, you get the shoulders on top of wrists, tuck the toes under, float the knees, and press the thighs and buttocks back up into a downward facing dog. Ears next to your upper arms, your toes pointing forward, pedal up and down your heels a few times. Stretch down through the lower legs so that they respond better. Then bend your right knee, left leg straight. The weight is going to your legs, not to your hands. Breathe. Bend at the left knee, right leg straight. Then from here, you can lift the heels of both legs straight. And come on tiptoes. Once again, point back your knee and slowly lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Slide your hands below the forehead and get the legs straight out for a while. Okay, you get a little bit of awareness and building some little chain of action, some coordination in our body. Tuck the toes first. So tuck the toes and spread all your toes. And once you catch almost all the toes, you drive the heel back and see how the knee lifts. And then maybe a little bit of the thigh just on top of the knee area is also lifting. Can you maintain this long spinal length while keeping your breath just neutral, breathing free? Then we drop the knees and lay flat the toes. Now take the arms by the sides of the body. Make sure you have enough space on both sides of you. Forehead can catch the ground. We're going to inhale to lift both thighs up. Inhale to lift the chest up. Inhale to slide the arms forward and open your legs at the same time. Exhale to close everything and drop down. So come with me. Inhale, thighs lift. Inhale, chest lift. Inhale, arms sweep forward as your legs open out. Exhale, close the arms back and legs towards each other. And release down. Inhale, legs lift. Inhale, chest lift. Inhale, arms forwards, legs open. Exhale, close in. and release down. Inhale, legs lift. Inhale, chest lift. Inhale, arms forward, legs open. Exhale, close in and release. So when you reach your arms forward, you don't have to touch your fingers. Okay, they can just stay as wide as you need to. So I'm going to ask you to do 5 more rounds on your own. So cultivate the action. No rush. Doing it at your own pace gives you the freedom to explore. And then once you're done, you just lay on your forehead. If it gets a little stuffy, you can always turn onto one side of the cheek. And then turn on the other side if you're not done so. So that's waking up the back body with the overhead arm position. So you can reach for something in a high cupboard. Slide your hands beside the ribs. Press onto hands and knees, come back to all fours. And then from there, press away from the ground with nice straight arms that are not locked. Tuck the toes, engage into the belly, float the knees and press the thighs and butt backwards into downward facing dog. Take 2 breaths, see whether you are able to grip your fingers a little bit more, especially on thumb and index finger. Getting the weight more into the thumb side of the hands, which is more conditioned, which is better for bearing weight as versus the pinky side of your hands. Your arms are pretty much next to your ears, your gaze is soft. And from there, raise the heels, lift the right leg up slightly, and bend the right knee and step the right foot between the hands. Left hand to stay, right arm to the right side, twisting lunge. Let the chest open as the back leg stays straight. Exhale, take the hand down, drop the left knee down, and tuck the left toes to the left side. Your right hand, feel free to shift it about 1 inch into the right and 1 inch forward. As you sweep your right foot back, you engage your buttocks to open up the hip. Press away from the ground as your right arm lifts up into side plank. Take a few more breaths here. Just inhale and exhale, lifting the head a little bit diagonally upwards to really strengthen the sides of the neck. And exhale, take the hand down, position the hands again onto all fours. Press your heels backwards, plank pose. Drop the knees. Lean your body forward by bending your elbows lower down to the ground. Roll the shoulders, squeeze the elbows in, baby cobra. Feel free as you feel your pelvis heavy, your legs extending back. Come up into a high cobra. Feeling the stretch on the belly as your chest lifting. Bend the elbows to slowly lower down. Place weight back onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes back, downward facing dog. Giving the weight to the legs, to the thighs, to the back of the legs. Then slowly raise the heels, left leg, give it a little lift. Bend the left knee and step the left foot between the hands. Right hand will stay on fingers, palms or block. Open the left arm to the left side, twisting lunge. Let the chest turn. Breathe. Shoulders slide away from ears. Take the left hand down to the ground. Right knee down, right toes tuck up. I can take this time to take the right hand in and forward about 1 inch to the left side. And then sweep the left foot back. I extend the hip and take my left arm up to the sky into side plank. Slightly angle the head up a little bit. About 5 breaths, just breathing in and out. Finding that lift away from the ground with the oblique muscles helping. Good. And slowly from there, slide the hand down, slide the knee down, all fours. Or feel free to go into plank pose for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the knees far away. Then you bend the elbows backwards, slowly lower down, slow. Toes back, baby cobra, or feel free to come up into high cobra. And from there, shift the weight back, downward facing dog. Exhale. Open your feet to the width of the mat and walk it 1 small step forward so that your thighs push back into a shorter downward facing dog.
Less challenging, especially those with tight back of the legs, but you can really feel, okay, how do you feel the overhead arm position, pushing away the ground and giving the weight to the legs. You can continue to walk the leg forward or walk the hands towards the feet. Come into a wide angle forward fold at the end of the mat. About mat width is good. Hands on ankles or shins. Inhale, flat back, long spine. You can bend your knees and allow your lower back to stretch as you fold with a little bit of bend knees. Then from there, sweep your body over to your right side. Feel free to re-straighten your legs or keep them slightly bent. Slightly bend your knees, come back to center, getting over to the left side. Feel free to straighten your legs or just slightly bend. And slowly come back to center, hands on shins, on ankles, going for flat back, long spine. Shift the weight more towards the toes and now squeeze your legs straighter. Your hands can definitely come up higher. Feel that the legs is catching your weight, hands on hips. Inhale all the way, come up to standing. Exhale, release your arms down to the side. Your feet about shoulder width or at least 2 feet width apart. Now inhale, take your arms to the sky. Exhale, right hand down, reaching over to the left side. Side body stretch. As well as, open out the side body for better stretch. Inhale, come up through center. Left hand to the thigh, right arm reaching over. You can slightly bend the top elbow if you need to. Breathe. Chin lightly away from chest. Inhale, come up to center. Interlace your fingers if you can. Push your palms to the sky. Otherwise, just the fingers reaching forward. Raise the heels, come on tiptoe balance. You're trying to press the big toe down as you hug your inner thighs. Chin level to the ground or slightly gaze up for a little bit of challenge in your balancing. For 3, for 2, for 1. Drop the heels, release the arms. Let the arms naturally by the side of the body. We're going to do what we call a calf pump. Okay, so imagine it's often said that your calves are like a second heart. So we're going to pump it a little bit. Okay, so enhance blood circulation in the body. So the action is easy. You lift the heel, then you drop the heel and lift the toes. You lift the heels, drop the heels and lift the toes. Then you're going through this action as your arms sway. So heel lift, toes lift, heel lift, toes lift, and then breathe in. Just continue, let it be a nice organic action. Open your feet wider if you need to. You might feel the pumping at the calves area. Good, and you're just breathing. We just go for about a minute of this. Okay. It also helps to improve balance. Okay, and your toes help to learn how to grip better. Okay, I like the swaying of the arms that was very organic presented to me. Okay, so you really, let go of any unnecessary tension in the shoulders and the forward hip position. We're just going for another 10. The speed is up to you. 9, 8, go on, 7, 6. You can stop first if you need to. 5, 4, I'm feeling my calves. 3, 2, and slowly 1. Good. And then stay here for a little while, breathing. So you stand up to the top of the mat. You just give it a little stretch to help it out. From here, the toes point ahead. Take your right foot back as you would in a pyramid pose. Left foot to the left side, right toes anchored more forward as you can. You squeeze the hips and lift up the spine. Then from there, you take the right arm up to the sky, right arm. And then you side bend to the left side. Lift the chin away and then find balance as you squeeze the inner thigh and press down the back foot. Inhale, come back to center. Then from there, take the hands on the hips, bend the front knee and lean forward. Your hands can brace the knee, or maybe you can get your fingers to the ground. As your front knee bend, your back leg straight. Then those who can explore squeezing the front leg straight and bend on finger support or hands on blocks or hands towards the ground support. Just a few rounds. Then slowly from there you bend the knees so that you feel the heels driving into the ground. You can brace your knees again or take your hands on the hips slowly. Inhale, come up. I like to separate the feet a little wider here, about a foot back. So I'm well placed in the triangle pose. The left knee track to the second third toe. Feel free to turn the front foot one tiny big toe width out apart. The back foot wedge forward. I feel like my right hip is tipping down. I cut it at my left hip, lift my chest, open my arms shoulder height, but drop the shoulders but keep the arms lifted. Wedge into the front foot, and then I tip out to the left side. Maybe my left hand swivel down as my right arm open to the sky. Feel free to put the right hand on the hip as you turn the chest. Then when the bottom hand is pretty light, when you're ready, your right arm reopen to the sky. Facing to the right side, and you're using your, maybe at least your right eye to glance towards your right wrist. Staying here as you open the top arm slightly backwards, getting the arms to stack. For 5, for 4, I'm driving into my left heel. For 3, for 2, and 1. To come out, top palm face back, push the air and slowly lift yourself up. Slide your hands to the hips, front knee bend, back heel up. So it's a lot of coordination. Then from there, you step the back foot forward. Please. Changing side. Left foot step back. Right foot right side, left foot left side, same thing. Then from there, right hand down. Ground into the heel. Okay, so we went through the knee tutorial. So you want to feel like the thighs is engaged. Left arm up. Side bend to the right side. Breathe. Chin a little away from chest. Side body stretch, heart open. Inhale, slowly both arms return as your chest comes upright. Bend the front knee, framing your front knee with your hands. Feel free to add blocks here. Feel free to adjust your feet if you feel a little bit lopsided. And then start to straighten your leg and bend it a few times. So just remember the right leg belongs to the right side, the left leg belongs to the left side. Feel free to squeeze the leg straight and do a pyramid pose. Then use the inhale to get a little bit lifted. Remember, right butt, click a little bit to the left heel. And exhale. Then from there, bend the knees. Use your hands to cradle your knee if you need to. Slowly come up. Either shift your right foot forward, down your left foot back. Okay, heel next to heel or heel to heel alignment. Okay, and front leg straighten again. One big, mini big toe width out to the right side. Firming your right knee to point to the second toe. It's like a pillar of support for the foot grip. Then you lean your weight to the front of heel. And from there, tip the left hip downwards. Okay, so you're getting like a tripod support with your feet. Then from there, you turn the hip down and then you take your right hand as to the leg as your left arm open to the sky. Same thing, left hand can hold the hip, hold the ribs to turn the chest as your left arm goes up to sky. Head diagonally tilt up, eye gaze. Release your left eye towards your top wrist as you feel you can. 5, 4, I have to remind myself to soften the jaws. For 3, and slowly top palm face back. Push off the air and come up into a nice open chest. Then from there, you take the hands on the hips, bend the front knee as your back heel lift. Then from there, okay, you can always shift one small step forward or just directly step forward. You come back into standing position. Take a little walk around just to find back your balance. Then from here, we are going 1/3 down the mat as you take the arms back and interlace your fingers or feel free to hold a strap between your hands. For those who feel a little tight, okay, you can always use a strap to help you. Okay, hold a strap or interlace your fingers. Then lift the chest, feel bright as you shift yourself into a nice plumb line position. Then maybe pull the fist backwards and bend your knees and sit in your imaginary chair as you fold halfway forward. You squeeze the shoulder blades and take the fist off your back. You can stay like this or lightly turn the chest as the fist goes towards the left side. Pull the strap taut without holding your breath. Come back to center, over to the left side. Chest revolve left as your fist goes right. Come back to center. Slowly inhale, come up. You can definitely add on some shoulder stretch here using the strap. So it's all about lifting the chest and lift the fist off your thighs, off your back. Into shoulder extension, where you feel a light squeeze between the shoulder blades. Keeping the strap taut. I have this in my shoulder conditioning class as well, which you can check out if you want more details. And then after that, I'm just going to release the strap and put it to one side. And I'm still at the top of the mat. Squeeze your legs closer together. Okay, as much as your lower back and your pelvis feels comfortable. Then guide your hands on the hips and bend your knees. Come into a chair pose. Slide your hands to your heart center. Squeeze the thighs. Right elbow tap the left knee. Oblique strength. Okay. Inhale, center. Exhale, left elbow tip the right knee. Just stay. Inhale, center. Exhale, change twist. Hands slide closer to the heart center. Inhale, center. Exhale, change twist. Inhale, center, arms up. Then from there, you can raise the heels and slowly tiptoe coming down. Hands in line with shoulders. Sit the buttocks back. Arms in the height of the shoulder. You can stay here and feel that rounded shape, or feel free to lift the heels off the ground. And squeeze the legs together, shoulder drop. Those who want to play, okay, you can play a little with me. Otherwise, you can hands hold the knees or stay. Open the legs as your hands reach forward. Close the thighs towards each other. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to open. Integrating at the core through a sense of the inner thigh. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more sets. Inhale, breathe. Exhale, close the thighs. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, close. Cross the ankles. Plant the hands down onto all fours. Feel free to add in a plank pose. Then drop the knees down. This time, drop the elbows to the ground. For those who want a little variation, since today's focus is also on the shoulder, feel free to do your forearm plank on 2 blocks. So what happens is you're going to put your forearm on here and your wrist is going to be free. Okay? So your forearms can face one another, your wrist can be free. Okay, then you turn the thumb down first and get the flesh of the forearm to catch the block. So you might have to gauge for yourself a shoulder width or wider. You can test a few times before you start to bear more weight. Forearms clench, like the thumb going inwards. Then tuck my toes. And then I feel and broaden my back away from the ground. Then you will feel some chest engagement and broadness of the shoulder blades to stabilize at the scapulars. Stay here, there's a lot of work. Staying for 8. Press the heels backwards with the toes tucked under. 9. Press onto the fleshy part of the forearms. 4. You can feel free to shift the shoulders a little bit forward. For 3. For 2. For 1. Hunch up the back. Those who like to add on into forearm plank or stay in that same position. Forearms pressing. 5. Heels driven down. You can lower the hips but keep broadening the back. 4. 3. 2. 1. Drop the knees back to the ground. Slowly shift your weight forward. Hands onto the blocks and come off. Continue to stay with the block. Or if you feel that you don't need the block, you can always shift it to one side. I would say vary, okay? So that your body has different experiencing of holding away from the ground. And you can do at different angles and different levels. We're going to work into forearm plank, working into perhaps a dolphin pose before we wind down with some shoulder release. So same thing, either on blocks or on the ground. You can interlace your fingers, okay, which helps to bring a connection in. So my elbows are on the ground. I turn my thumb inwards a little bit so I catch more flesh of the forearms against the ground. Then from there, I tuck my toes and press my heels backwards. Feel my upper back spread out. Looking at the forearms, between the forearms, staying here, or stretch the legs back into a forearm plank. Then you can work towards like a 10 to 15 counts. Today we're just going to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, broaden the upper back, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then walk your feet forward and then give the weight to the forearms going a little forward, but you press down the elbow tips and let the chest rise. The toes point forward. Some of us, our heels will get heavy. Some of us, we may need to bend our knees as we keep Our focus, hunching our back and softening the neck. Staying here, toes point ahead, heel driven down, thighs pressing backwards. Press into the fleshy part of the forearms and then keep the neck soft. For 3, for 2, just lightly lifting the weight of the head. For 1, drop the knees down. You're done, sit the buttocks back. Take the arms by the side of the body. Forehead can be on the ground, on the block. Soften the jaws. Let your upper back spread out, but this time into a more release. Notice your breath might be a little bit faster. Take your time to slow it down. If you need more prop away from the ground, prop your head a little bit off the ground. Then from there, take your arms forward. Give yourself a little stretch. Press down the hands but lift the elbows. Slide your right hand through. You can feel free to turn over to face the left side with the temple catching onto a towel or just float it in the air. My left hand, my fingers are still grabbing the ground. My arms is still extended, going forward. And my buttocks is still heavy to where I can. Then I face down, I cross my left arm over my right so I can wrap my fingers around the upper back area. Slowly come up. You can stay here in this bear hug, just spreading out the back, or crossing the forearms and the wrists into eagle arms. Then from there, just inhale, exhale, hands a little away from face, back is broad, jaws is soft. Almost feel the collarbone smiling forward. Inhale again, and exhale. Drop the elbows in, unlock the hands, both hands by the side of the body, lean forward into a forward child's pose. So I have the tendency sometimes, because we're speaking or you're too engrossed, you tend to tighten at the jaw or sides of the neck. Once you notice it, you have the power to let it go. Take your arms out forward, any width open. So most of us will notice any width open that's comfortable for you. Okay, don't try to work towards hands close together is perhaps the most challenging for most of us. Okay, so you can work with wider, especially if you have broad shoulders. Why not? Left hand track through right hand, right knee. You can turn a little bit to the right side. You can slightly press down the thumb and index on the right hand. Face down. You can pull the left arm out a little bit so you can more easily cross the right upper arm. Wrap around, press down the shins, slowly come up to hero. Feel free to spread out your back like this. Just awareness, high kneeling so it's possible. Otherwise, cross the forearms and the wrists with the fingers pointing towards the sky. Hands a little away, elbows a little forward as well. Breathe. Slowly drop the elbows to chest, release your arms, and take your hands on opposite elbow. Slowly, if you can, bring the forearms over your forehead, and then a little stretch in the belly and chest. Come back to neutral, release the hands. Sit your buttocks to one side, and then take the legs out forward in front of you. Okay, a short wind now, but nonetheless important. Okay, so coming to the end of the mat, the hands just support behind. And you're pressing down the ground with your fingers anchored out. Just roll up the thighs. Tap your thighs against the ground. Rotate your ankles lightly. And counter direction. Then bend your knees, stand your feet on the ground. So comfortable where you can feel the grounding down. You can also check your feet. Okay, parallel them. Press down through the hands. You feel a little bit of broadening across the chest. That's quite enough. Or you may want to add on ground the heels. Okay, you can pluck yourself up neutral spine into a tabletop position as your arms go straight. Breathe in. Exhale, coming down. If you feel that maybe the hands are too close or the feet are too close, you want to adjust something, go for it. Okay, just second time to stay for a few more breaths. Press out the hands, lightly broaden the collar. Stand your feet, give some weight to the legs. And from there, pluck yourself up on inhale, tabletop pose. Looking forward, looking upwards, or looking backwards. Hug in the inner thighs for a little bit of core strength. And slowly exhale, lower down. Take the legs out forward to the front of the mat. Take your arms forward, a big gym ball in front of you. And then from there, slowly roll, support yourself down all the way into lying down. Your arms go overhead, give yourself a nice, good stretch out. Exhale, release. One more time, okay? You're going to squeeze everything before you release. Squeeze the legs, squeeze the ankles, squeeze the thighs, the knees, the hips, the sides of the waist, the chest, the arms, the wrists, the fingers, squeeze the face as well. Exhale, release. Bend your knees, stand your feet. Good. Take your hands in line with the shoulders and open your feet a little wider in a constructive rest pose. Sway your knees from side to side. This was one pose that I used to really feel more integrated as my sacroiliac joint. So on the ground, where you just trust the ground to carry your weight. After all the kind of so core is kind of a gravity defying mission, using a core to stand upright. Okay, but hopefully in this class the relationship shifts a little bit. It's kind of working with gravity. Okay, using the core to help you work with gravity to keep us upright as we are as humans. Very unique feature of this. After a while, you can lay your hands laid by the sides of your thighs. Relax the back of the head down to the ground. And stretch your legs out forward for a short shavasana. We get in touch with your breath, your body. As now the fronts, the sides, and the back of the body get cradled by the earth. Maybe you feel your arms, your shoulders, also able to let down some of the weight. As you get cradled more and more, your attention might come to your breath, where you allow your breath to be light and supportive even of this restorative pose. Relax and stay. If you can, stay for another 15 more minutes. If you can't, we're going to be here for another minute. Wriggle your fingers and your toes. If you're not staying here for one more, bring the sensations back. And gently roll to one side, comfortable for you. Take about 4 more breaths lying on the side. When you're ready, top hand presses the ground to lift yourself up to sit. Where you feel your eyes face forward, your eyes stay closed. You can slide your hands on knees or on the ankles. Once again, experience the tall spine, grounding through the sit, but lifted through the heart and the crown. Take a gentle inhale
And exhale, clearing breath out through the nose or mouth. One more time to inhale and exhale. Slide your hands to heart center. Give thanks for your practice, for your exploration and your attention. Hopefully you're feeling more integrated so that you can radiate out to the world. Gently open your eyes. Namaste. Thank you.